Yeah, so hi Shubham, thank you for joining us. So I mean, yeah, so let's we just like to know about your journey, your experience, and we can talk about few points. So yeah, so let's start with, I mean, you have been with Flock for like how many years?
So it's almost 3 years in Flock. Like I'll be completing 3 years in end of September. So yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, so how is the experience? Because like I know that like Flock has one of the like most awesome front end products that like anyone would like to work on. So like how's your experience so far with the Flock basically?
So what I would say is that like at Flock, it has been a really amazing journey personally for me, as well as in terms of what I have got to learn and explore. So like a lot of people when they hear of Flock, if they know about Flock, know that Flock has a messenger which was some point of time a competitor for Slack. But that's just not it. Like at Flock, what we have is an email product as well, and which has been time that I joined, and it has been doing really well. And there's a lot of challenges that we had faced there. And like the best part about my journey with Flock has been the fact that the time I joined was the time when the development of this product had started. So I have been with with this journey of this entire product from like the thinking of it, the like the market that we have at our hands, and like shaping the entire future of this product, what we want, when we want, how we want, and like giving so many things at the beginning, right? Like you obviously cannot have the best of the product at the starting, so figuring out what features we need at the minimum, making them work as fast as possible. So that was really amazing, like in my journey at Flock. And the other thing that I have really loved about Flock has been the fact that there have been some really amazing people that I have got to work with. Like you have been part of Flock in the past as well, right? Like you would also know that there have been like the people that you work with, you collaborate with have been really amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that.
I mean, that's I'm totally agree on. I mean, especially the team that we have in the front end. I mean, I think it's one of the like a largest team. Generally, like front end has very small team, so we had around 8 to 9 people, and everyone is like really experienced and one of the like amazing people. And I think yeah. So another thing is like I think our manager was also pretty cool. I think again I think one of the like good managers you always want to work with basically.
Yeah, that has been a really standout point at Flock. Yes, that the manager was really supporting, and you never felt like he was a boss. Like he was as if he was just a friend, and you could just go discuss things with him, and like even talk of technical things. Even like the best memory that I have of Flock has been the fact that we just went to our manager and like asked like, can we set up a TV for a cricket world watching the cricket World Cup? And he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
I
yeah.
I also remember that one. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the like also so basically I think culture was also pretty good. I mean, so like
Exactly.
okay, so I mean like this the like about the experience of the flow, but let's say like in general, let's say like you are the tomorrow you will be the team lead, or let's say you will be the manager. So what's your suggestion, or like how you will build a good culture basically in the team basically?
So, like in order to build a good culture in the team, what is really important is to have a good communication flowing within the team. Like if all people in the team are like working well together and they gel well together, like that builds a really good culture in the team. So it's really important that each one of team members connect themselves with each other. We do some kind of activity, some kind of interactions with each one of them, so that we get to know them personally. And when you work as a family is when you have the best of each thing, right? Like so that is when I fear like I feel that it has been really good that way. In order to build a good culture is really important that you have good communication within the team. And
Yeah,
yeah.
so basically like when you are saying basically building the personal connection and have that as a family we are working, I think do you think like one-on-ones, like having one-on-ones and like and be open in the like both manager and the like employee, both if they are open and frank and like comfortable talking, do you think that helps in the like building a good culture, like weekly one-on-ones or like bi-weekly
I think
one-on-ones?
if people do that themselves, like if it is initiated by the employees and it's just within the culture that the senior person just initiates it, right? Like the other people in the team also feel comfortable doing that. Like if you set that up as a process, I feel it may work, it may not work, like because some people might just feel as it is an obligation rather than a chance to communicate and collaborate, right? And if it is async, you get to talk about your passions, your interests, your things like those. And that is what actually connects people within the team. Like if you have some kind of common interest and you can just go and talk to that person. And so that really helps. Like if it comes in that way, that is the best way you can actually have build a good kind of a culture.
Yeah, I think that's totally agree. I mean, like having a good culture is really important, and that's I think where you feel you want to come to office, you want to work with the team every morning. You wake up, okay, like I have to go at office, and you feel actually like I feel going to office. Because I remember during one of my interns actually, like where I remember like every morning I wake up and like, oh shit, now I have to go to office. Like it's like it was like no like first half was good, the second month was not that pretty good, and like okay, like key like how we can actually just get by this time basically. So but in other companies like I think Flow is Flow has been pretty I think good, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really easy when we had like when we used to work from office and used to just go talk to that person. But it's a little challenging when you are working from home. Like that is when you have to actually reach out to the person and to talk to them. Like you don't know what they are working on, you don't know what they are interested in now, and especially if there are new people, right? It's really difficult to do that. But
Yeah,
like
right.
if just initiating it, like coming it from the people who are in the team can be a really good step towards it.
Yeah, I think totally. So I think now, yeah, I think one thing you mentioned like work from home, and I think now I think almost like 1.5 years since we have been in this COVID situation, and everyone is working from home. So especially for the startups having small teams, I mean, right? And if someone, let's say, I think if someone joins like in that time and like onboard remotely, so like how's your experience? Like, what do you think are the challenges, and like how we as a team or like as a team lead or the manager we can come over it? I mean, like from your experience, what are like the like basically?
So in the past year, right, like at Flock, we have had about 4 new people joining remotely, and like it's been almost an year that they have been working remotely. So at first, I also believe that it was a little difficult to just collaborate with them, and it was difficult for them also to reach out to us. But like as I said, right, like it's important that the people who are there in the team, they make the other people comfortable. They just talk to them, have some kind of a discussions flowing. Like even if they feel that like okay, they may not be needed as a part of the discussion, but if you involve them, if you just like make them comfortable, right, like it really helps them understand the culture within the company, as well as it makes them free to actually come to you and talk to you, right? So that has been a really good experience in my opinion at Flock, that we have had that going at least, and then people have not been shy or have not been like into themselves when they have been when they have to talk about some things. Like we kind of have set that kind of a culture where people are just like, you can just message someone and you will get an instant reply, or at least a reply as soon as they are available, right? So that has been the best thing about it, right?
Yeah, I think I can totally, I can totally relate to that. I mean, I myself have been like, like pulled like onboarded like complete remotely to like like new company, total remote everything. So it's been definitely pretty challenging, and I think the best thing as you mentioned, like able to like team allows you can ping anyone, can like so that they can reply instantaneously, and if you can set up the calls, Zoom calls, or like basically like flock calls, like flock, we call the flock calls basically because we have our, or like we had our own like have our own video system. So like like having like that basically I think gives like more confidence if they feel more comfortable basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I think in the remote, I think that's the like one challenge. I think communication is the like a challenge, and that's, I think, one of the like, I think, a good way to solve it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think the next thing is, let's talk about like in career, like in, like I think you have been, I think, 4 to 5 year of experience, right? I think 5, right?
Yeah, I have 5 years of experience. Yes.
Yeah, right. So I mean, so in like in beginning, so I mean, like especially if I'm seeing in the front end these days, there's like lots of opportunities in the front end. I mean, even in the big companies, even if you talk about startups, right? And just not the like opportunities we have like, like managerial routes also are there, like in big companies basically. So initially, like we know, okay, like SD1, SD2, like we can, okay, like you can work and you know how to basically build products and everything, but like what it takes to, to reach the next level now. 1 to 2, we know it's like if you're able to work fine efficiently, it's good. But what it takes to go beyond like SD3 team lead, or basically
So,
like little like a more on a senior level basically.
so I think what it really requires you is to have a keen eye for the product, right? Like if you really understand in depth of what the business looks like, why we are doing what we are doing, right? Say if you are picking up a feature, why are you picking that feature and why are you deciding to go ahead in a particular way? So that is an eye for that is something that you really get over the years, and that is something that really helps you in going to the next level. And another thing that is really important, apart from just the fact that you are working and you are being productive, is the fact that you are being able to communicate really, really well within the team. So if you have a real good communication flowing and a real good collaboration within the team that you are able to set up yourselves, then you are up for a good improvement in your career growth, as well as you're on the right path for a next level, right? So having opportunities to mentor your juniors, like having them understand, making them comfortable, letting them grow is how you grow. So it's never that you just focus on yourself and you will be able to achieve something big, right? Like if you take the other people with you is when you will grow, and you will grow the team as well. So that is why what I personally believe in, and that is what I have seen in my career, the other peers that I have worked with, and
Yeah,
it's been good
yeah.
to get to know this. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's about like when you want to be on the senior, also you want to grow. I think from what you said, I think is like just not focus on yourself. You have to like take all people together and like start worrying about more, because like even let's say like if we see from our like manager perspective, we want our manager to worry about us and back ourselves. That means like manager have to like think about less about himself and more about the team people basically.
Exactly.
Like it's like similar to like same applies for the team lead, I guess also.
Exactly. Like for a team lead, it's kind of a mediator level between a developer as well as a manager, right? Like you are doing both kind of a thing, so you have to be available for both of these things. Like sometimes people may not be able to have some kind of technical discussions with the manager that they would be able to have with the team lead. And that is when it's really important that senior people or people who aspire to basically have excel in that role step in and make the others or the junior people in the team comfortable and talk about their experiences, as well as help them understand and design and implement solutions well.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, so yeah, I think another thing, like even like I myself worry about, I myself, ask is like, we see people like in 10 years, 12 years reaching principal level, right? But but when we know, what we know about, like if we look at the like from backend perspective, backend engineer or any other field, like any other domain, basically in the software field, is that they can like, they can be manager and they can be like director, VP and everything. But in the front end, like we see people 10, 12 years, they reach the, like a principal engineer. So now on what after that? Like, I mean, still it's like a 10, 12, 15 years career left. I mean, so just
So
like
it's
what from your personal observation, what's your like think about it? Like you yourself is like front end engineer, you have 5 year experience, so you also look definitely have must have thought about it. I mean, from long term perspective.
So I think it's not just that you want to be a manager when you have to be a senior, right? Like there you can be a staff engineer, you can be a principal architect. It's about what you want to do and where your interests lie, right? And I feel it's if you feel that you are able to have a keen eye for the product and you are interested in tech more than managerial skills, then it's definitely okay if you are aiming for a principal engineer, or even a staff engineer as per se, or a solutions architect. That is that is something that I myself look forward to. I actually am not someone who would go as of now intended towards the managerial side of a role. I'm more like the tech side of it. And like even if you look at front end, like it's growing like crazy. Like
Yeah, exactly.
JavaScript previously was a very web focused language. Now you have JavaScript running everywhere. You can have a backend server set up with it. You can basically use it on the web. You can use it on mobile. Like there's TensorFlow, right? Like you can use it for machine learning and all. So there is a lot of scope if you just know JavaScript, and you can, if your interest lie, and if you are interested in making your product better, you can just like increase your knowledge and your domain knowledge with all of those, and there is never shortage of learning. So no, but like at no point of time I think you will feel that yeah, you are just bored with what you are doing.
Yeah, yeah,
As long as you have that
yeah.
enthusiasm going, it's really good.
Yeah, that's I'm totally agree with you. Like, you never like it's not never like that. Okay, like I have been there are lots of challenges always, and I feel your front end is specifically, like when you're working on any of the consumer facing applications, there are like lots of challenges and like lots of always wherever you work on new product, there are new challenges, new learnings, basically. So I mean, yeah, I think if you like feeling more, I think choose a new product to work on.
Yeah, exactly. No two products are the same. Like any kind of design implementation on anything that you are interaction that you're implementing, like there is not no single way of doing it. There is always a better way to design or implement it, and that is something that is really interesting about front end. And yeah, that is what keeps me going. And I guess
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
exactly.
good.
Even I feel also same. Like okay, even if I feel okay, like this product now, it's like okay, like it has been implemented now. Just we are building small things. Like you can pick always like the like even like a different aspect. Like keeping the code quality. I mean, no, like keeping the code quality, focus on testing. I mean, testing is like I will say little more underrated. I mean, like even like startups, so like there we don't do too much testing, but it has a very own importance, and like people don't like sometimes in the initial years, like people haven't done too much testing. So I think that's another something to learn and know how to do in the right way. You can again make it mess out of tests also.
Yeah, I completely agree with this.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's like that's the, I think beauty of JavaScript. You can write a really good JavaScript code, but you can make a mess out of it too. I mean, so like you again have to like because like being flexible, that's how it comes like at cost. So I mean, and so you have been like doing Stack Overflow from so long, and I mean you have really like really great reputation on the Stack Overflow. I mean on the React and like front end React and JS basically. So like, how's your experience? Like, I mean, what are your learnings, and like do you suggest other people to do it, and like what basically like what it takes, what inspires you to do it like on every day? Like if I remember, I think 3,000, 4,000 answers over 4 years. I mean, this been like really like being consistent, being disciplined. So what is like what motivates you to like every day doing it? I mean.
So, like, there have been multiple reasons why I actually have gone ahead and been so consistent with Stack Overflow. It just started with the initial years of my development, right? When one of my mentors said that like your work can only teach you so much, and there is only a limited set of opportunities that you will get to explore things when you're working, because they only have one product. But if you have kind of an online presence, be it exploring projects, be it contributing to open source, be it contributing to Stack Overflow, or even writing your own blog posts about things, right? It just gives you a lot of exposure to different kinds of implementations and things. And like that just stuck to me for my entire like career till now. And So when I started with it, like it was really difficult. Like you just see the answers and you see, oh, I just don't know this, I just don't know that, and that is normal. Like when you start with anything, you obviously do not know a lot of things, but if you just look at the answer, if you see someone has answered what they have answered, right, like, and just look at their code, explore their things, and if someone has asked a question, try to implement it. Like there are so many IDs available, right? There's Code Sandbox, there's StackBlade, there's CodePen, so many ideas where you can just, you don't need to set up anything, you just try that out and see what works and see what the problem of the other person is, and you're just able to figure out. And even if you were slow at the beginning, your pace will consistently increase as you practice, right?
Yeah, right.
So that is what I experienced at the beginning, and like slowly, like it just became a habit, right? Like what I would do is I just challenge myself that I will at least have one answer a day, and that was it. Like that is how it started, and and it gave me so much of happiness when someone accepted my answer and were actually commented that, okay, like thank you so much, that your answer has been really beneficial to me. It was just so, it felt so good that I have been able to solve someone else's problem, and that is something that I have enjoyed till date. And yeah, so that is how it started, that is how it kept going, and each and every point of time I was just looking at some kind of thing, some new kind of library that I would do. I would just start it, I would just start implementing some sort of stuff there, and
Okay.
accept myself minor goals. It's never did I ever think that I will have such so many answers and such a lot of reputation there, but it just
I
happened.
think I think I think one thing that is always like everyone other will miss, I will say, is like, and that's like apply to anything we do, is like the discipline and the consistency, and the habit you build. Once you build the habit, I mean, then you will see like, then you can do like, like if you having start having interest, like you, as you can see, like you yourself able to do for like continuously till today. So I think that's the only missing, like people start, they lose the motivation or something like that, because it's hard in the initial. So I mean, I think that's the, like key is the, like, I think discipline, consistency, and like keep yourself motivated.
I think having small targets and things like those without worrying about results will definitely help you achieve that consistency. When you actually go about a target or a thing, like if you have something like that, this is what I want to do, like I think you would be able to have better consistency at that, and small set yourself smaller goals. Is if you aim for a large at the beginning, you will definitely fall short and leave what you are trying to do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
smaller goals, celebrating smaller successes is what keeps you going.
Okay, okay. I think, yeah, I think that's, I think, been the great suggestion. So I think if anyone wants to do it, I mean, that's the right, have smaller targets, try to achieve them. And like if you keep doing that, it will start being the part of your habit. Like it will become your habit basically.
Yeah, so just a small example that I gave, right? Like I used to just aim for one answer a day or at least 10 points a day. So that is how I started. Then eventually I said, okay, let me get to 1,000 reputation, let me get to 10,000, eventually 50,000. And
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
somehow it started like, okay, I just randomly saw that, okay, the Stack Overflow has like each tag leaders as well. And I just started like, okay, yeah, let me just try for this, let me just try for that. And yeah, so you can increase your goals as you become more consistent, but it's important to aim smaller at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. No, totally. I think that's the, like, I think right way to go towards it. So I think, yeah. So the one last question that we have, I think that's like, I think in general, I mean, it's either it's for the startups or the for the teams. I mean, like everyone is facing. There are so many front end opportunities. Like I see, like there, like if you see in the market today, there is like n number, literally n number of front end opportunities, like from SD1 to 3, and just not the opportunities, like they are like high paying opportunities there, but like companies are not able to hire the front end engineers. I mean, like we are interviewing so many people, and still, like, even to close one positions, it takes like so many interviews, like months to close that position for the like company startup. So like, what do you think is the, like, where is the, like, gap actually, and like what people can do actually, to use this opportunity basically?
So, in my experience, what has really been the case is that a lot of companies focus on the basic concepts of JavaScript, the in-depth knowledge of JavaScript, and not any specific frameworks. So, that is something that has been really a little bit of a problem with a lot of developers, is that they go into a framework and they do not explore the depths of it. And what people do not realize is that a lot of the frameworks, like almost all of the frameworks, are actually built on the core JavaScript concepts.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And when you understand the core JavaScript concepts, right, it's easier for you to move from one framework to another, as well as like implement solutions that are very performant and optimal, right? So if you have a good understanding of JavaScript, no company will say that you are not a good fit for them, and definitely you will be able to crack a lot of the interviews. But if you just focus on one framework, right, like if you just know what React is, right, and it will be really difficult for you to move from React to Angular. It will take a lot of time for you to do that, and a company would not want their senior people to take a lot of time getting started with the basic stuffs, right? That is where a in-depth knowledge of JavaScript is something that is really important. And if we focus on that, that is the one thing that it's will be beneficial throughout your career.
Yeah, I think right. I think there, yeah, and I think like company even don't like ask frameworks like, except it's like a small startups which actually like just a beginning startup and they need React, like so React developer or something. That's a different thing. But the way like mostly companies I think don't care about frameworks anymore. Like whatever the experience you have, they will always ask you like I think JavaScript based questions only.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like that is what everyone will look for, right? That you have good in-depth knowledge of the basic underlying functionalities, right? If you understand DOM well, if you understand JavaScript functions well, if you understand what internally happens with those functions. So that is what everyone looks for.
Yeah, I think so. I think again, I think the simple suggestion is focus on the JavaScript, go in depth, and I think you will be good, I guess, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been so Shubham, it's been really fun conversation with you. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Likewise, Rahul.
Just a second now.